We're recording for the 4th of February, 6:35, episode 42 starts with, I guess this.
Northwest began serving peanuts this month. Georgia is the top peanut-producing state.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Tony. Don't slam the f***ing door.
You're listening to a Fly Science Productions podcast. Welcome to Stream the Machine.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Stream the Machine, episode 42 for the 4th of February. PM edition, night edition, after dark edition.
Ooh, sounds sensual.
It does, really. I hate missing gaps in between the clips. I mean, I guess since we're off a day, I'm like amateur hour over here. I was going to pull a clip for the beginning of the show, but that didn't happen. I just got home from work, and we're ready to roll. We're going to do a little bit different tonight. Kind of the same, but kind of different. We're not going to have all of our normal segments, but most of our fun segments, I think, the ones that we get to laugh at. You know, because I noticed, and actually, you know, I'm going to just go ahead and introduce myself and everybody first, and then we'll go ahead and get into the show. I'm your host, Jake, as always. With me, the lovely, the wonderful Tony DePalma. How you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Chilly, because we just got a ton of snow, as I was saying earlier.
Yeah, that's it's insane. Because I kind of forget what it's like, I guess, in Illinois, because we don't get nearly the amount of snow out here. We got a little bit and some rain, and that was it.
What was the temperature there today?
Well, let's check my phone here. Let's see what my phone would have said. It claims that it's 50 degrees right now.
Yeah, it was like 19 on my way home, and it's supposed to drop down to -1 tonight.
That's impressive. Yeah, it's just showing me that we're having a low of 35, so it's a little bit warmer.
Just a little bit.
I don't miss it. I don't miss the snow because it's dangerous. I don't like people driving in the snow because people are bad drivers, and it just all around makes me nervous. And so I'm okay with not having warmer temperatures and not having snow. A lot of people, there's people out here. I mean, I guess I kind of root for the snow because sometimes, like if there's an inch or two and they didn't salt the ground or something, they will freak out and shut everything down out here because they don't know how to deal with it. Back home, you're like, if it's not below 0, we're not canceling school. And then
pretty much
out here, it's like, holy shit, there's an inch of snow expected tomorrow. Better shut everything down. And we had that happen once. We all got to leave work early because there was an expected like 2 inches that was supposed to come later that evening.
What?
Yeah. And then we all went home, and it never snowed. So I enjoyed it. But yeah, cool. I'm unhappy that you have to deal with the snow, but I'm happy that we're all here together and we get to enjoy this night edition of the show. I was very sick last week. I was very unwell. I still kind of have a remainder of it, so if I'm heavy breathing or anything throughout the shows, because I can't really breathe through my nose, but there was no way I was going to do the show on Saturday. I was feeling better by Saturday, but better by the standards of how I felt last week was still pretty shitty. And I could barely talk. My throat was almost gone.
That's no fun. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better.
Well, thank you. You know, I don't get sick very often, and so when I do, I always I forget what it feels like, you know? And so then when I do get sick, which is like once in every couple of years, I'll get it, and I'm like, oh my god, is this what everyone feels like when they get colds in the winter and shit? Like, it's crazy. All right, let's go through some of our notes here. If you're listening in, blah, 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 give us reviews on iTunes, good or bad. It always helps. As I already said, I was mega sick last week. And I'm finally, so we'll move on to the hair. I'm finally getting to the point where I can slick my hair back, or at least try to, and not have to do that comb over. I'm really working on that. I keep quoting two people that I'm trying to get hair like. Keanu Reeves and Johnny Depp. What if I can look like either one of those or kind of get that hair going, I'll be fine. That's
going to be some long hair.
Yeah, it needs to be a little bit longer. I'm shooting for probably, like, if I could take my hair and flop it down, I want to go maybe as low as the chin. Maybe.
Okay.
But that's about as far as I would get it. I wouldn't go shoulders, not for here. Just because it's already been kind of a lot to manage. But it's fun. I'm enjoying it. I haven't had super long hair in God knows how long.
Yeah, this is like pushing. What I have now is like pushing almost my limit. Is what gets like too long for me.
I've also considered, and this is probably what I do. If it gets to the point where I'm like, you know what, this is too much. I'm gonna cut it. I'm also considering going short on all of the sides and leaving a lot on top and trying to go for almost like a punk, like long hair on top. Like even almost maybe like short all the way up to the top, maybe mid, and just having like almost like that emo haircut where you got that like that long hair that comes down. I don't know. I've seen it on a couple of my favorite musicians, and I'm like, damn, that looks kind of cool. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Solid.
Dying Light came out, which is a video game basically about parkour and zombies. Has this not been on your radar? Are you unfamiliar?
I knew this was like a zombie game. I didn't. No, that's about the extent of which I know.
Did you play Mirror's Edge?
I did not.
Okay.
I have it on Steam because I got it in a Humble Bundle a while ago, I think.
Okay, so Mirror's Edge is good. It's just it's all parkour. I don't think I don't think you can use guns. I think you can maybe punch, and that's it. And even punching is probably like a punch, and then there's a big pause because it's not like a fighting game. Most of the game is just trying to free run and run up and do it. Anyways, that is what this is. So it's open world zombies like Dead Island. It controls a lot like Dead Island because it's made by the people who made Dead Island. But then running and sprinting and jumping and sliding and using grappling hooks to like Spider-Man yourself up to the top of buildings. It's all of that plus bashing zombies in the face. And it is really fun. It's 4-player, and it's an RPG. So you're leveling up and having a gay old time. It's a blast. I'm enjoying it. Highly recommend it. If you're listening in, you're like, oh, I kind of like zombies and free running sounds kind of neat. Do it. It's worth it. Coming up next week. I highly recommend it. If you get it for PC, there will be lots for us to do. I've been trying to talk Ross into it. I know he's interested, but of course, when you buy games on Steam, you get in the habit of saying, well, if it's over $5, then I'm overpaying for it, because everything goes on crazy sale. So there's a good chance that maybe if the summer sale comes along, which it will, that it will go on a really good sale. Coming up, oh, that's my phone's dying. Oh, that's a bummer. Coming up next week, so not this weekend. So let's go ahead and go over our schedule a little bit. So we had our makeup show for last week, and right now, if you're listening in, this is the makeup show.
This one right here.
And then this Saturday coming up is our normal schedule. So we're back on schedule. It's not like, oh, no, now it's on Wednesday nights or Tuesday nights, whatever tonight is, Wednesday. No, we're going to be back on Saturday. And then next Saturday, I'm actually going to, I believe I talked about it last week, a big nerd convention. So there will be no show, at least on that Saturday. Tony and Ross and I have to talk about when we will do a makeup show for that. But there will be a makeup show for that one as well, soon after, before the next show. Because we got to keep on with our schedule. Now, excuse me, we've discussed it. Coming up, we're basically going to treat our first year here at Stream the Machine almost as if it's like season 1. So what we're going to do is this is season 1 of Stream the Machine, right? And then we're going to hit episode 50. We're going to do a blowout show. It's going to be the best show we've ever had. And then I think we're probably going to take about a month off. And we're going to relax, and we're going to enjoy sleeping in on about 4 Saturdays, maybe 5. And
whatever feels right.
Right. And then we're going to come back strong and start up with, like I said, essentially we can treat it like season 2, starting up, and then to the next year of Stream the Machine. Because, like we've said it 1,000 times before, occasionally it is nice to take a break. But now that we're trying to hit our 1 year, we don't have that luxury at the moment. So we will take that luxury after the 1 year comes around. Also, this week, this will be the end of our announcements. This Saturday, our show will start at, what did we say, 11 o'clock? Well, 10 o'clock for you.
Central.
Yes. So 10:30 is the normal time that we tune in, or 9:30 if you live in Central Time Zone. It will be 30 minutes later. So if you wake up and it's 10:30/9:30, and you're like, oh my gosh, where are these guys? We are not going to be on yet. We are going 30 minutes later. Tony's doing a solid for some people at his church. So we are going to postpone it. We're not canceling the show, and we will come back. We're not coming back, but we will be there 30 minutes later. So sleep in. Take those 30 minutes to sleep, and we will enjoy ourselves. Now, I don't think I wrote this note on here. I think you did, right?
I did.
Okay. I've seen. I saw that actually just today, but I was like, wait a second. I don't think I wrote that, but it looks like something I wrote.
I figured it's something you probably would try to touch on.
No, definitely. John Wick 2. Mm-hmm. So, the article I read said that the directors are back, or the guys who did the... I thought it said directors. So I wonder if it was like a co-directing thing, or... It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was two directors who were both that used to be stunt choreographers.
Right. Okay, so both of those guys are back. They're working on it. They're starting it up. From what I've read, it said that they hadn't confirmed Keanu Reeves, but how are you going to have John Wick 2 without Keanu Reeves? Yeah. I'm sure Keanu Reeves will be there, especially with how much ass he kicked in the first one. Would not surprise me. But that's exciting. Hopefully they find a way to make it not like Taken. Because I remember Taken 1 being good, and then you saw Taken 2 and you were kind of like, eh. And then Taken 3 and you're like, okay, it's a joke now. So hopefully John Wick does not get to Taken 3 status.
Yeah, but someone made a comment that Taken was like a genuine blockbuster. It had like a budget of like 40 million and made like 160 or something.
Okay.
Whereas John Wick had like a budget of 20 and made 40.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, it doubled its budget, but that's not like big, huge numbers.
Not by any means. And there's still a lot of people.
I hope that kind of keeps it humble.
Yeah.
You know.
You're right. That is a good way to put it. Keeping it humble. There's a lot of people I know that still were not convinced because of Keanu Reeves. That, I told them, I was like, this is literally one of the most badass films I've ever seen. It is so good. You need to see it. And they're like, Keanu Reeves. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, come on. I know, I love Keanu, but I don't know. So, I mean, there's still a lot of people that were kind of skeptical about it, but hopefully those people eventually see it and be on the same boat, rooting for John Wick 2. We are going to jump right into in other news. And we have some news articles for that.
This just in other news.
In other news, UPS driver throws package and then urinates on house. So I've had some misfortune, not this kind of misfortune, with UPS lately. Not UPS, USPS. They decide that so I guess if you get things, the only trend I can see is that I'm getting a lot of things from out of the country. And when they come into the United States, it switches over to USPS. And then they decide that they want to have a signature on it, even though I've not requested a signature. So what do? They show up, they find out, oh, I can't fit this whatever through the mail slot, and I can't, no one's here. So we're just going to take the package back and leave this note. And so then we have to drive to the post office and try and pick it up, and it's a hassle. Rachel one day even drove to the post office after the time that it said it would be available. Got there, they go, oh, I'm sorry, it's not actually here, because the guy was out delivering it. And he dropped it off again with no one there for the signature. And I'm like, what? Why couldn't you do that the first time? So
that makes no sense.
It's pissing me off. But anyways, that's neither here nor there, which is a sound clip I don't have anymore. UPS officials said they have fired a seasonal driver recorded by Houston security cameras throwing packages over a fence and then urinating on the home. Ben Lucas said he checked his surveillance cameras after arriving home January 8th to find his packages, a .22 caliber ammunition box, I guess, chemicals, and a machine for cleaning gun parts were on the inside of his locked fence and appeared to be damaged. Lucas said that the video, which he later posted to YouTube, showed the UPS driver throwing the packages over the fence before unzipping the fly of his pants and urinating on his home. Quote, so basically I paid someone to come to my house and pee on it. Lucas said he posted the video to UPS Facebook when the officials seemed unwilling to watch it or give him an apology. He said the move led to a phone call from UPS supervisor. She was apologetic and wants to send me a "we're sorry" gift. Should it take that if you make the claim or put the video up? Does it take posting it to the Facebook where other people are going to see just to have a company right their wrongs? That's bullshit. That seems to happen quite a bit. It
seems like that's today's trend.
It really is.
They'll only apologize it for if a bunch of people know about it.
Yeah, if you have proof that we did something wrong, and I get that you're not going to just take every what's the phrase, every Tom, Dick, and Harry, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get if you're not just going to just acquiesce to every claim that some guy took a dump on my porch, and sure, prove it. But if the guy's going to make a claim or even upload a video to YouTube, it's a shame that you'd have to go as far as posting it on the Facebook to get a response. So this is him again. That's what I kind of wanted. I just wanted to say, hey, yeah, he shouldn't have done that. We'll try to make sure it doesn't happen again. I just wanted someone to say that. The press release here from UPS was UPS was dismayed by actions that violated decency and delivery care. The local management team did take action to terminate the individual who's a seasonal delivery helper. However, they were wrong if they did not clarify this resolution with Mr. Lucas at the time. UPS sincerely apologizes to our customer. No behavior like this is acceptable. Whatever. As long as they took care of it, I guess that's good. Why would you not want to communicate that with your customer? That, yeah, we fired him. I mean, whatever. It's just bad. Whatever. You don't want to get rid of people, and then now we're being made to, so we're just going to try and damage control. So...
I think for us, the only issue I've had with USPS is it wasn't even me, it was my brother back when we both lived at our parents' house. We ordered a pair of Nike shoes, and we live kind of in the country, so our driveway is probably an eighth of a mile down the road, and he just leaves it hanging from our mailbox with a big red Nike bag.
What a jerk.
And someone stole it off our mailbox.
That's dumb. I hate that.
They saw the Nike logo.
USPS is the worst. And guess what? It's because it's run by the government. No, I'm kidding. But really, USPS is the worst. I hate them. And you know what I especially hate is I'll order something from UPS and sometimes they'll hand it off to USPS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that. I'll look on my tracking and be like, is it here today? And then it goes, has been delivered at your local USPS for delivery. And I'm like, oh! There's no way I'm getting my package now.
Quick interjection.
Go ahead.
I think my roommate locked himself out of the house. So I'll be right back.
Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do.
Entertain.
I will talk about some stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my Facebook feed, and I'm going to talk about something that interests me. Let's see. Dragon Ball Xenoverse is coming out soon. It's an awesome video game I'm excited for. It takes place in the Dragon Ball Z universe. It's going to be dope. What else is here? Tomb Raider on Xbox One. That's stupid. Should be on PS4. And Tony's back.
Sorry about that.
Tony's back. Nope, it's quite alright. It was quick. All I had time to do was mention 2 games I was excited for, and that was it. I was just going down my Facebook feed to see what was coming up. Woman in a wheelchair stands up to shoplift. British police released a
miracle.
It truly is. British police released the CCTV footage of a woman recorded standing up from her wheelchair and walking around a store while shoplifting. West Midlands police said the woman came into the Marks and Spencer food store in Coventry, England, January 11th, with a male accomplice pushing her around in a wheelchair. But the security cameras caught her getting up from the chair to conceal items under her coat. Police said that the man also took items from the store, concealing them in the woman's backpack. Investigators said that the method employed by the thieves, who made off with about $90 worth of packaged meat, was reminiscent of Andy Pipkin, a character on cult TV series Little Britain, who is known for faking his disability. Police said that they are hoping the video will... So they didn't catch him. Because what are you going to do in this kind of situation? You see... Well, and they didn't see him. But let's say that you think you see somebody doing something bad. Yeah. But they're in a wheelchair. Because they're disabled, is it okay just to let them get away with... I mean, I'm trying to think of the risks here. I don't know. I mean, even...
Like, if you call them out on it, and it turns out they are innocent, then you look bad.
You look double bad, because they go, I can't even use my legs. Sorry, not being able to use your legs is not something we should laugh about. I apologize. That's not funny. The situation is, she could use her legs. We had a kid come into Office Max last year, in the middle of summer, with the biggest, puffiest winter coat on that you could imagine. And he walked up and down the aisles and just wanted to know where the school supplies were, and then walked out without paying for anything. And we're 99% sure he stole things. But we were like, what can you do about it? Office Max policy, as far as I know, they're basically like, try and identify them, but unless they're walking out with a computer under their coat, you can't say anything.
Yeah.
Because even if you ask them, hey, did you shoplift? And they go, no. That's it. That's all you can do. You can't like press charges or investigate or, do anything else unless you have concrete evidence. Like I said, like if you can prove like, hey, that looks like a laptop you got under your shirt there. That's about the only situation, because that's a lot of money. If it's a bunch of pens, they're going to be like, you should have just let them go. Because that's customer service. Allowing people to shoplift because we don't want to accidentally piss off people. That's dumb. Yep. I hate it. This is what's corporate America for you. So here's a badass. I actually really want to read this article and figure out what was going on here. Trucker pulls tooth while driving, causes an accident. I've had very bad experiences with the dentist, so I'm really impressed that this guy's able to even do this. An Alabama man flipped his tractor trailer after he took, again, not really something that's that funny, but situation is funny. After he took his hands from the wheel to pull a loose tooth from his mouth, causing a traffic jam and closure of parts of an interstate for hours. The man, a 57-year-old self-employed tractor-trailer driver, lost control of his 18-wheeler on Sunday night near mile marker 79 on the interstate. The driver said he lost control when he was pulling a tooth with his hands. An ALEA state trooper reports he had his tooth in his shirt pocket as proof. The truck jackknifed into trees after leaving the road and moving down a slope into a ditch. No serious injuries were reported. The accident occurred at 10:30 and forced state troopers to close the eastbound section of the interstate between Tuscaloosa and Cottondale for several hours. Drivers were sent on a detour, resulting in long traffic delays, blah, blah, blah. Yanking a tooth, man. I mean, I would be worried about not getting the root in it. Like, my biggest fear...
It sounds like he's... Did it say how old he was?
57.
Yeah, I mean, if he's 57 and he has a loose tooth, I don't know if there is much root.
That's possible. That's oh my gosh. I'll tell a story here. First of all, have I told my root canal story on here before?
I don't think so.
Okay, about me getting a root canal and the guy only did half of it. Okay, I want to make sure because I don't. If this is like a really boring story for everyone, because I just told it last week and I didn't remember or something. No, but okay. So I go in, and as a kid, I have very bad teeth. I don't have great teeth now, but they're better than they were. And I'd gotten a couple root canals when I was a kid. Okay, and they just go in there, they rip out the root, and I don't know what else they do. Cap it off. I can't remember. It's been so long. But root canals suck. Because the root is like the thing that causes all the pain.
Yeah.
So, this is maybe my second or third one that I ever had. It's the last one I ever had. And the guy does it, and it's hurting, and he's, using all the Novocaine. And I'm like, dude, it still hurts. I can feel it. I can feel you drilling and stuff. And he's like, oh, I'm just going to use some more Novocaine then. And nothing's happening, and it still hurts. And I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible. And he goes, all right, well, we're done. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Like, this is painful. This is awful. I go to leave, and I walk out, and they're like, all right, Mr. Mercer, well, and I drove that day. I must have been 16 or 17 years old. And I'm still in, like, major pain, right? And I've already been loaded up with Novocaine, and I walk out, and they're like, all right, well, that's it. Your insurance covers it, and so this, that, and the other, and we're good. And I'm like, all right, well, cool. I'm out of here, man. I'm in pain. And I walk out, crazy, whatever. My sister has to come pick me up because I'm in so much pain, and it's just like, it's going crazy, right? Well, I'm in so much pain that day that I go back, and they have to prescribe me Vicodin because they're like,
wow.
Right? And so we get the Vicodin, and I'm like, damn, like that's just, it's crazy hurts. I wait like a week, taking Vicodin when I need it, and the tooth still has like dull pain there. Like after a week. And I'm like, you do a root canal and you're done. That tooth should never hurt again. There's no root in there, right? Like that's what a root canal is. And there had been no follow-up visit scheduled at this point. And this includes the time that I was walking out initially, and then when I came back to get the prescription for the Vicodin. And we call back and we say, yeah, my tooth still hurts. And they go, oh, well, the doctor never finished the procedure. He only did half. You have to come back and get the rest of it done. I was like, are you shitting me? You only did half of my root canal, and you didn't tell me? And on top of that, there was no reschedule. Like, what do you...
Yeah.
It was...
If you're going to do half the procedure, make sure you get
this... Oh, my God, dude. It was the worst. It is the only reason that I have not gone back to a dentist. I went to a cleaning, I believe in 2012. I was moving out of my parents' house, and my dad was like, you better get a root canal. Not a root canal. You better get a cleaning while you're still on our insurance. And so I got a cleaning, and the entire time, she's digging in my mouth, and I'm like shaking because I'm panic attack. I'm so scared of everything because I'm afraid my teeth are just going to get smashed. I'm afraid of even getting Novocaine. Oh my God. So yeah, hearing about this dude ripping out his tooth mid-driving, I'm like, oh my, how? I got dudes hardcore. I can't even get my tooth scraped with a little reflective mirror. I'm really impressed that guy's able to yank out his tooth.
I've got a few messed up tooth stories. Well, one of them, I was like 10 maybe, and I got a filling, and the dentist overfilled the filling.
Oh,
so the next day, my tooth just exploded. And there was pieces of my tooth just kind of just chilling. It was weird.
Oh my gosh.
This
is the reason why I'm never again. I will lose all my teeth before I will ever go back to a dentist. Oh my gosh.
It was a baby tooth, so I didn't really mind because I was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
Part of my tooth did get wedged. I was eating a candy bar. It was a Hershey's bar. I remember that. And then all of a sudden, I bite into something hard, and I realized parts of my tooth are stuck in the candy bar. And then, when I had my braces on, I didn't lose my canine. My top canines were the last baby tooth that I lost. And my adult canines grew in and just pushed the baby ones in the back. So at one point, I had 6 canines. The baby tooth, they're just hidden back in there.
Oh, that's crazy.
And we were at the orthodontist, and she was like, yeah, you're gonna, if these don't come out on their own, you're gonna have to get them pulled. I was like, all right, that's fine. And my mom was like, well, can you do that here? I was like, is that something we can do here? She's like, well, technically we don't really do that because like we just deal with braces. We don't have anything to like pull teeth with.
Right.
And she's like, and my mom was like, oh, that's another appointment I'm going to have to make. And she's like, well, I mean, we can do it here. I can just do it right now, but I don't have any numbing stuff.
Oh, boy.
And my mom looks at me and is like, Tony, can you do that? I was like, I don't really want to. She's like, well,
no.
She's like, I'll give you $50 since I don't have to pay for another appointment. I was like, fine. And so they take the little metal scraper thing, scrape your teeth with, use it as a pry bar.
No.
And just like get it back on the top of the tooth and just,
oh my gosh,
and just knock both of them out. Like they went shooting across the room.
I wouldn't have done it. Not for. You would have had to pay me like $1,000. I don't even know if I would have done it for that. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I never used to be that scared of the dentist. I'll tell you what. I never really understood what the fear of the dentist was, but I can't do it anymore. I'm so afraid of that kind of pain because it's something you can't like, you cut your arm and you're like, you can hold it, you can apply pressure, you can do something. You get your tooth, you're like, how do you, there's nothing you can do. The best you can do is apply some kind of, ice pack to your cheek or something. And I'll tell you what, I've got my wisdom teeth, I'm pretty sure, still in. I'm afraid to get those pulled.
I don't have any. I got lucky on that.
You did get lucky.
None.
My mother didn't have wisdom teeth. My dad did. And so I was always hoping, I was like, oh, please. Hopefully I got my mother's teeth. I don't have a wisdom teeth. But I'm pretty sure I've got them. Because I can feel something way back there.
Yeah.
But I've heard bad things about that. And I don't even know what a dry socket is, but I know it's painful. And that it's supposed to be like when you get your teeth pulled, you can have a dry socket, whatever that is, and then you have to come back to get it cleaned and all that kind of crap. And forget it. Yeah, I'm not interested in that. We have another article here. I'm going to go ahead and skip over it. It says Washington man receives an $18,000 bridge toll bill. I'm not really sure how that happened, but I'm going to guess that maybe he was running through the iPass and not without an iPass. Let's do some would you rathers, and then kick into some Karmified. Let's see here. Let's do about 3-ish. We'll do 3, and then we'll jump into. Oh no! I just saw what Ross added to the. I'm not. No, yeah, I'm not ready for this. Okay, so we'll do a couple here. Let's see. Okay, this is an interesting one. Would you rather have your personality change every day, or have your looks change every day?
Oh, I don't know. That's
so your complete personality, whether you're a jackass or really nice, whether you're a pushover, whether you're... I mean, every personality type that you can think of. Think of every person you've ever met and all the different people. You would assume one of those personalities every day. Or, I guess you would look like...
You would
assume their looks every day. Which one do you think would be easier to work with? Or more fun, or whatever you want to qualify that by.
I mean, in a professional sense... If I show up and I don't look like myself, then people are going to be like, yeah, you're not Tony. They're like, yeah, I am. It's like, no, you're not.
You're definitely not Tony.
So, I mean, unless people just understood that, oh, yeah, it's Tony. He just changes what he looks like all the time.
Oh, yeah, he answered that would you rather question on that podcast. Now he has to have his face change every day.
That'll get you. Personality-wise... You could be like a cannon. Like one day you could just be super, super angry. Mm-hmm. And something just pushes the wrong button.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of worried about. I feel like the personality thing would be a little more exciting, to be honest. But with much more chance of like screwing things up. Because what if that turns into the day that you like? What if it's like serial killer day, and then now your whole life is screwed up because you killed somebody? And
It's very true.
yeah, there's a lot of. I'm gonna say, I don't care. I'm gonna say I'd rather have my personality change. I would think of it as a perverted game. Something changing.
I think so too. Because I mean, you're still aware that your personality's changing, so you can you can try to like rein it in, as long as nothing crazy happens.
Yeah, I can't do much about your looks. You could be super sexy one day though,
or you just look like a monkey.
Yeah, super ugly the next. All right, personality. Let's take a look here. Wow, 88,000 votes. 35% said that they would rather have their personality change every day.
Really?
65% said they would rather have the looks. Interesting. Alrighty. Okay, I wanted to bring this one up because I have this sort of thing happening to me on a constant basis. Would you rather sleep in a cold room with the potential of having blankets, or sleep in a hot room
with no blankets?
Well, the hot one, you could take blankets off, I guess. So
I would rather.
I'm going to change
in a cold
this.
Room with blankets.
Cold room with blankets. Now let's see here. This one might be cheating with blankets. I don't know what I think about this. Let me just say this. Do you prefer it to be colder or warmer at night when you sleep?
Colder.
Colder. Same here. I actually have a big problem with the fact that it's like 67 degrees downstairs when we go to bed, but then upstairs it's always like 72 because heat rises. And it's always much hotter, and the heat is controlled downstairs. And so if I were to try and make it colder upstairs, I would have to drop it to like 60 degrees downstairs, and it just wouldn't be comfortable for anybody at that point. So it's kind of an uncomfortable thing. So we counter it by trying to have a fan on, but Rachel doesn't like listening to the fan on medium, so we have to put it on low. And yeah, it's like it's like having a little infant child lay up on the ceiling and then try to blow down on me, trying to cool me off. And yeah, it's not ideal, but we'll go with the cold room option here just to see what this was like. Yeah, of course, overwhelmingly so. 75% in a cold room and 25% in a hot room. Who wants to sleep in a? I mean, you want to be warm, but see, I also like having like maybe a foot out from under the blankets or something, like to manage my temperature. I don't wrap myself up entirely. Okay, last one, and this is a good one.
All right.
Would you rather work your current job for the next year with double pay, or have the next year off with normal pay?
Oh, next year off with normal pay for sure.
You really would. You would take a year off.
I don't get paid a whole lot.
Yeah.
So.
Well.
I mean, think about that's darn near 35 hours of free time I get.
That's true. But you also, well, at least, I mean, consider the fact that now for the next year you get paid. I mean, what is like a professional salary? Well, depending on what you're paid now. For a lot of people, it's a lot of money to just jump up. But you would just continue doing your normal job. You wouldn't do anything extra. You would just be doing what you're doing now. But your paychecks, each paycheck would be twice as big as it normally was.
It's a valid point.
Because see, I thought the same thing at first. I was like, well, a year off with normal pay would be okay. But technically,
I'm going to switch my answer. You win. You win. I'm going to switch.
I think I would do the same thing too. I would rather work because I'm already working. You know, it's not going to get any worse. Given, I mean, I don't know, because bills and everything are going to stay the same.
Taxes will go up.
Speaking of which, I was going to file my taxes last week to try and get an early start, but then I got super sick and I didn't feel like doing anything. Like, I didn't want to talk on the phone or anything. I was going to have my dad walk me through it. And now I haven't filed my taxes yet, and now I'm getting lazy to the point where I don't want to do it yet. I mean, I want to, because I want the money, but now I'm getting lazy. We'll go with work your current job for the next year with double pay. Wow. 83,000 people? 40% said that they would rather work their current job for double pay.
How many?
40%. 60% said that they would rather have the next year off with normal pay. What a bunch of slackers. But I suppose it's valid. You could take a year vacation, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, what, like, some people, if, like, they have super busy jobs and well-paying jobs, and then, I mean, doubling it would be nice, but then again, maintaining a good income, not having to do anything.
Exactly. You could find a lot of time for a lot of other things. See, I guess my perspective is that, I don't know, there's so much more toys that I could have with double my current income. I could have freaking 3 different microphones coming in, getting some kind of weird surround sound for this.
Speaking of toys, did you put your webcam on your other monitor?
I did.
Okay.
I kind of liked it better. I specifically did it for the solo show on Saturday, but I decided I would keep with it for now. How do you like it versus the side view?
I like it. I gotta say, I like it.
I'm back now. I have a normal person's monitor. I have a 24-inch that I use. I found for mega cheap.
Nice.
It's just 1080p. It's not 120 hertz, I don't think. But it's a 24-inch. It's really small. It took me a while to get used to it. I'm still not completely used to it. I had Rachel come in and watch a trailer the other night, and I felt stupid because I had to be like, all right, come up here. Because normally I have the big freaking TV right here. Mm-hmm. But now I've got this little tiny 24-inch, and so I'm like, all right, huddle in. Watch this movie trailer. Whatever, though. I eventually, I'm thinking maybe I will upgrade again and go for like a 27 and then try to keep the 24 as like a additional monitor. But
if you do 27, go 1440.
You think so?
For resolution. I would say so, for sure. I mean, because why not?
I don't know. I mean, 1080 has always worked for me so well, and I'm always worried about going above.
You have a 980, man.
Yeah, but I mean,
you have a 980. Okay, you gotta get something out of it.
I guess that's true. Well,
if not 4K.
We have our normal guest as usual. His name is Ross Bays. He's coming on, and we're going to talk about some fun stuff. Just going to be dumb stuff. Very light-hearted show tonight. Very chill. Harkening back to the days of when we had Stream Machine midweek. Except this feels much better because we're not
2 times.
Yeah, because we're not. Yeah. You know, the midweek show was always fun, but there was not enough material to keep going. Not enough material between both shows. And STM really works well as a weekly show. So having a one in the middle of the week was kind of fun as a one-off. Let's go ahead and get Ross in here. And, of course, now I realize I have to readjust my freaking windows. Let's see how this works. Oh, and I'm going to play a sound clip as we get this going. Here we go. Ross is, distinguished, got his big old beard.
It's not going to be easy, but it will be worth it.
There's amazing things going on every day.
I may not be good, but I'm expensive.
It's Ross and I, and then a bunch of women. Don't let society tell you what to do.
He has the power.
Brony.
And we are here with Mr. Ross Bays, and yay or nay, everyone, to the jazz. Should we keep the jazz going? Yes?
Why not?
How do we... All right. Let's go ahead and do it. All right, now let me put this, move the top, and boom, we're ready to go. It is karmified. Ross Bays, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing well. I'm a little sore myself. I've got the carpal tunnel, which is not good.
No! That's awful.
It's legit.
That sucks. I don't think I've ever had carpal tunnel, but I've legitimately like had the moment where I'm like concerned that I'm going to get it. Where it's like you're like, oh shit, this is starting to hurt.
Well,
you,
you know what
worried.
sucks the most is that my hand and my wrist is starting to hurt now. Like I get home at the end of the day and I'm like, all right, time to kill some goblins. And I sit down and as soon as I touch the mouse, I'm like, it's awful.
That sounds horrible. Well,
But what do I do? I'm like, for 6 more hours.
Yeah, of course you have to. It's the only way you can. No pain, no gain, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, it already hurts. Whatever.
Cool. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear about that.
Well, I'll tell you what's unfortunate.
Yes.
Is dry sockets.
I've always heard about them. Like I said, I don't know what a dry socket is, but I know that it's something you don't want to have.
Okay, let me tell you about dry sockets. Okay, first of all, I can't say that this is my story, but I was there when all this happened, so I can tell you firsthand witness.
Okay.
Dry sockets are awful. So when you get your wisdom teeth pulled, it leaves this gaping hole in your gums, and I mean like an actual hole, like you could put food in and store it for later. You know, like it's ridiculous,
like a chipmunk.
Yeah,
Oh,
and this guy, I was in the Marine Corps at the time. We were in Okinawa, and this guy Nixon got his wisdom teeth pulled, and they tell you like, hey, we're going to give you like a little syringe and you're going to wash it out every day, and then otherwise you don't have to worry about dry sockets, you'll be fine, just pay attention and keep everything clean. So Nixon, being a smoker and a dipper and a 19-year-old Marine, didn't really pay attention.
Of course.
So he got dry sockets, and basically that socket that's there that's healing dries out and just gets almost infected. Okay? Now that's not the worst part. The worst part, and this will make your skin crawl, okay? They take this brush that's almost like a chamber brush, okay? And a chamber brush on a weapon, it's like a wire bristle star brush that you grind out stuff with.
Yeah.
So they put this chamber brush into the hole and then, yeah. And that's how they clear your dry sockets out, right?
Oh my gosh. That sounds awful.
So thankfully, and I love how we're starting off with the weekly buzzkill.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh boy.
So when this happened to Nixon, I'm glad it happened to him first because it was only a couple weeks later, and I had to get my wisdom teeth out, all four at the same time. And I'm a 20-year-old Marine. I go to the dentist. They say, oh, you're going to have to get your wisdom teeth out. If you don't take them out now, it's going to get worse, and you're going to be in pain. You're probably going to need surgery, blah, blah, blah. So you got to take them all out now. So he tells me, well, we have Novocaine. We'll do everything. We'll do it right. So he puts the Novocaine in this side of my face and then starts pulling teeth on this side. Okay? And I'm screaming. I mean, I can hear the tooth coming out of my face. It's awful. And I'm like, stop. You put the Novocaine over here. And what does he say? He goes, don't tell me how to do my job.
Oh my gosh.
And as a 19-year-old Marine, you don't say anything. Because that's an officer. You don't say...
Right.
It was terrible.
That sounds like an awful experience.
Sounds pretty darn awful.
I'm very scared. Now, here's the thing. I'll tell you this. My boss, well, he's like not my direct boss, but the guy who runs the warehouse we live in, because we live in a warehouse. The warehouse I work in, went to get some kind of surgery done, and he told me that they gave him Valium to take the night before and the day of.
Whoa.
And I was like, why are they giving you anti-anxiety drugs for this? And he was like, because I would not sit still in the chair otherwise. And I'm like, oh, that sounds
Brilliant.
awesome. I really want to go to the dentist now. Yeah, like, which guy do you go to? Now, here's the thing is, I don't know how to get to that point. You know, like, hi, dentist. Yeah, do you provide Valium with the procedure? Like, I don't know how to do that. So that's the thing is, I'm still really terrified of going to the dentist. But if they were to offer other options, like getting the gas or getting, you know, freaking anti-anxiety medicine or whatever, I'd do it in a heartbeat. I'd go and have like, all right, I know I've got a cavity, pull it and be done. And I will forevermore brush my teeth like the way I should. But yeah, I don't know. I just, I guess it gets that intense. But I was so shocked. That was not an option when I had my teeth yanked, and given that was 10 years ago, but, it was just like, holy crap. Like, like I thought they only did crazy stuff like gas for wisdom teeth or something. The fact that you only got Novocaine and then your wisdom teeth yanked kills me. Although you're older than I am by 10 years, so. Are you older than me by 10 years? But it wasn't
like Stagecoach years. I mean, this is like modern day.
It was like the 40s when you got your teeth pulled, right?
I'm biting on a stick.
Oh, God.
That would be counterproductive. They got to get in there, man.
I know!
Come on.
They're like, Ross, quit biting that goddamn stick. Maybe yank your freaking teeth out. Oh, crap. Well, we're having a lot of fun, so let's go ahead and continue the trend. What do we have today for Karmified?
Well, I hope this is fun, and I hope it's not an absolute turd biscuit sandwich.
I haven't had dinner yet, so it sounded pretty good right now.
Perfect timing.
Making me hungry.
So I love the idea. Like anybody that knows me, I'm always a big fan of nostalgia and thinking back, you know, when I was a kid and whatever. And I play games like this with my wife all the time, where I'll just name a year, and she just rambles on about what her life was like that year. What's the first thing that comes to mind, and then she just rambles about it. And that's just a fun game for us. So what I wanted to do. I'm
surprised anyone can remember years. Like, I can't. The only year I can remember, well, two of them. 2012, because that's the year I moved out. That's the first year I lived by myself. And 2013, because that's when I moved here. Like prior to that, no idea. No idea what happened in 2011. No idea what happened in 2010, and so forth. I'm surprised anyone can remember anything of any year that wasn't like a major event.
What if I said, who was your name one of your teachers in high school that you had?
I could do that. Oh, well,
okay.
Hold on, I'm trying to figure out which one to name.
Any one of them, just throw one out there.
Okay, so I'm picking. Well, shoot. Now I'm having a hard time doing this too. Miss.
No pressure. Stage fright. God, I feel bad for the people at the urinal with you.
Who is our... Okay, I've got a math teacher. I had a math teacher. No, I'm going to go with the history teacher, Mr. Sullivan. He was the easiest to remember. Thank God.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Okay, and you said this was history?
Yeah.
You have any friends in the class with you?
I don't remember.
I had no friends.
I'm sure I had a couple friends, but I can't remember anything about the class.
Okay.
Anyway.
So the idea behind this is to figure out what you do remember. And it doesn't matter how much sense it makes, anything. So the idea is that I'm going to... Like, this is a challenge for both of you, okay? This is the thinking on your feet memory challenge, okay? Now, I'm going to say a school grade, an actual year, or some type of random event, and you have 20 seconds to ramble on about anything and everything that you remember from that.
Oh, wow.
Okay? So, and I have an actual timer here and a buzzer, so I'm ready.
Nice.
Okay? Now, if you have no memory that fits that description, then you have to ramble about that item for 20 seconds without stopping. Okay, so let me give you an example.
Okay.
you are in a department store with one of your parents.
Okay.
Now, does anything come to mind? Do you remember being there? Remember anything that happened, or maybe anything?
Yeah. I don't know what constitutes a department store. Is that like a Bergner's or something?
Walmart or
How about Lowe's? Does Lowe's count?
Why not? A store.
I remember that. Yeah.
So
Okay.
you would have 20 seconds to just start spitting things out.
Okay.
Whether it's a memory that you remember or how much you hated being in a store with your parents because they would X, Y, and Z.
Sure.
Whatever.
Let me tell
All
a
right,
quick
so-
story real
ahead.
quick about the department store, unless you're going to use that one as an example. As like
No, just an example. Go for it.
Okay. Speaking of which, this is the first thing I can think of. The only thing I can think of is I was in Lowe's as a kid with my father. I wonder if he'll remember this, and if he does, maybe he'll laugh because I told the story a couple times. And my dad was, he's a loving father, but he's also not one to be so high enough that he isn't going to laugh at his kid when his kid hurts himself. So I, like the smart 7, 8, 9-year-old that I was, am sprinting around with my hands in my pockets, and it's concrete floor in Lowe's, and sliding around on my knees. And sure enough, I get to one point where I'm, whee! And all of a sudden, I start going, oh crap. And I'm leaning forward, and I face plant right on the concrete in the middle of Lowe's. And my dad starts cracking up. And oh my gosh. And I remember just crying because it hurt. I smashed my freaking nose on concrete. And my dad was like, oh, let me help you up. Ha ha ha. Anyways, go right ahead. Sorry, I had to mention that.
I love the fact that in that story, like as a kid, you're so stupid. Not you, but kids in general.
No,
are
you
so
really
stupid.
are. You really
because
are.
Because the point of the game is to slide on your knees. Sticking your hands in your damn pocket has nothing to do with it.
Right, but it totally debilitates you. You can't. You're like,
totally ruins.
oh crap, I'm falling forward. Where are my hands? And then all of a sudden you cry.
That's awesome.
You're done. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead with your thing.
All right, so for the first one, let's I'm going to start the timer. I'm going to give you the let's see. I'll pull up the timer. And I'll start with one where I'm going to say, like, for instance, Tony, do you remember, and you don't have to spout it off yet, but do you remember anything about kindergarten or preschool?
Yes.
Maybe?
Yes.
All right.
I kind of get them mixed up between kindergarten and preschool, so can I kind of combine them?
Sure. So anything from that time frame.
They're kind of fuzzy. It's kind of fuzzy.
All right. Are you ready? All right. So I forgot to mention, though, that since this is a challenge, a winner will be selected between the two of you. Okay? And the winner will be judged by the amount of time filled per run and the quality of the memories or rambles.
Oh.
Okay? Now, the winner will receive, this is huge, are you ready for this? A high five via Skype from this guy.
Yeah! Let's do it!
Which is easily intercepted.
I don't know.
I'll respect.
Oh, I'm
I
excited.
mean, it's not the Super Bowl. All right.
Oh! Burn!
My only sports reference ever.
Yeah, I was going to say, I knew about the interception, and that's it.
Yep. All right, so Tony,
beast
kindergarten / preschool, and go.
All right. I remember my favorite thing that I'd always wear was this little necklace. It was just a regular string, but it had a cool green rock on the end. That was pretty sweet. And then I lost it, and then I got sad. I remember being on the playground and seeing my dad's red Toyota truck drive by filled with cardboard boxes. There was a swirly. There was a little. Is that it?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Oh, man. See, and this is why I like this.
I need resolution. What happened to the boxes? What does he do with the boxes? I never found out.
Boxes.
We'll never know.
Oh, man.
We'll never know.
This is awful.
I'm out of time.
We need a sequel.
Oh, that's great. Oh, man. I'm going to play this with myself. All right. All right, so let's see. All right, the next one. The next one for you, Jake, is elementary school.
Oh,
Go.
There was one time that I upset, I think she was like my, third grade teacher. I upset her enough that she came over to my desk and started ripping everything out of the desk, including my PE shoes. She was like, "PE shoes? These don't go in here!" And threw it all out on the floor just so I could pick it all up again.
Oh my God, sounds like boot camp.
Yeah, no, she was a bitch. But
Wow. Okay, well, since I'm already really impressed, I'm going to increase this to 30 seconds because this is my damn game. Do what I want.
yeah.
Oh, man, that's a good start. All right, so, Tony, this goes back to you. The next one is you, and this is memory-wise, you are inside of a car. Go.
Inside of a car. Okay, driving home late one night, senior year of high school. No drugs or alcohol involved in this at all, but I was with a girl I was talking to at the time, and we were falling behind my other friend Brandon, and to be funny, we both rolled the windows down, sat on my car, I steered with my foot, and we played patty cake over my car going through a subdivision.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, we were going like idle speed.
Man,
Okay,
that's
thank God. You scared me, Tony. I was like, "Ah." I mean, you're alive. I know what happens at the end of the story. You survived. But even still, damn. Impressive.
Wow. All right, so the next one goes to you, Jake. 30 seconds on the clock. This could be awkward.
Oh, boy.
You are making out with somebody.
Oh,
Go.
shoot. Okay, I've got a good one. The first kiss I ever had, I was at a friend's party, a girlfriend, I guess, and it was her birthday. We were in, I think, 7th grade. Can't remember. It was her birthday, and we ran away out into the fields next to her house in the cornfields, and pretty sure we were like, don't know how to do this, so we sat down and we started kissing, and then all of a sudden her parents called and we had to run back.
Okay. I want to throw this out there before the next one. My first, I don't even know if I could say it's a first French kiss. Mm-hmm. And this gives a real discredit to New Hampshire because I'm 6 years old. Okay?
Oh, wow. Damn.
6. I mean, I'm a pimp. I'd be turned on too if I saw me coming, you know? So, I'm 6 years old. I'm at the babysitter's house, and her 2 kids are also babysat with me. One of them is a girl named Bree, who the 3 of us are playing a game. Like, her brother Zach is filming. He's got the camera, so this is really odd as it is.
Right,
like,
right.
we're filming some kind of sick adult movie. And we're filming like a soap opera. And now the next scene is we have to kiss. So we go into the closet, and Zach comes in with us. It's pitch black. So why he's in there with us, I have no idea.
I gotta get the camera. I gotta get the footage.
So we get into the closet, pitch black, and we get close, and we start kissing. Now, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm 6 years old.
Right.
So I'm just, whatever. And she starts biting my face, okay? And I'm like, and she's,
Oh my God, I'm never kissing
like
again.
a cartoon character. And I was like, what are you doing? She's like, well, that's what they do on TV. And now as an adult, I think back, I know exactly where it came from.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Oh, God, kids are so stupid.
They really are.
I mean, unless you're a listener of the show.
And yeah, and if you're 6 years old and chomping on a face, power to you.
Yeah. All right, so the next one goes back. Oh, go ahead, Tony. What do you got?
I was going to say, I'm not going to get into it, but I've actually had someone who was not a 6-year-old do that, and it was not pleasant. It was weird.
Awesome. So it was like an 8-year-old.
And it was just
Like
last
older.
year. It was not good.
That's awesome. All right, so the next one for you, Tony. 30 seconds on the clock. You are. Let me just put it this way. I'm not even going to say you were there. First thing that comes to mind: graduation. Go.
Graduation, graduated, all that jazz. I was like 15 in my class out of 42, which wasn't all that impressive because it's a small school. And then I come home and we have a graduation party, and I'm just sweating bullets. I'm in like an orange shirt, and then there's just sweat going everywhere. There's people in our house. It's hot. It's June, and I'm just getting all gross and sweaty. And there's a picture of me, my brother, and my grandma, and we're all just gross. And it's like the only picture we got. When she was
Oiled up.
Gross Tony on his graduation day.
Awesome. All right. Next one is for you, Jake. You are in the woods. Go.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, we had woods behind my house, and so my friends and I would occasionally, when we were young and probably grade school, run out there and act like we were, fighting things or exploring or whatever. And I remember we found what looked like what we thought were grapevines coming from the trees, and they were not. They probably had sap coming out of them, but we were like, "Oh, grapevines!" and tried drinking out of it because there was juice dripping out of it. And we never got sick, but we were drinking the juice out of a tree vine. That's all I remember.
I mean, it could have been like toxic waste.
It could have been anything at all.
That's awesome. Oh my god. All right, so the next one, Tony. 30 seconds on the clock. You are sneaking out. Go.
I never snuck out in high school. The one time I wanted to, I just asked my dad to take us T-Peen because I was a responsible kid, and I figured I'd get away with it if I just asked, and it worked. So it took me and my friends T-Peen at like 2 a.m. And it worked. It'd be better to ask for permission than forgiveness in this sense.
Which is never the case normally.
I don't, because I've never snuck out. It's just how
you're a good boy. It's okay.
Oh man. See, I gathered that like his parents are listening. And he's like, I don't want to get caught.
I actually, I never snuck out either. I didn't have a reason to, because the games were inside my house, so I would just play video games at home. I never had a reason to leave.
Man, you haven't changed a bit.
No, I really haven't.
All right. All right. So now I'm just going to throw a keyword at you, and first thing that comes to mind, you're going for it. Even if it's not related to you, doesn't pertain to you, you just got to go with it.
Like,
right, Jake,
a memory associated with it?
Anything. If a memory comes to mind, great. Otherwise, start going.
Is this another 30-second thing or just the first word?
30 seconds.
And I just got to start talking.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. And Jake, your word is fight. Go.
Oh boy. Okay. There was one time in high school that I was planning on getting in a rumble with somebody because the dude was talking shit behind my back, and I was like, all right, guys, I know this guy's like a thug, and he's probably going to have buddies, so I can't just challenge him and fight him. So if I have a fight Friday, you got my back. And I was going around like collecting people, and then we ended up never fighting because who was going to fight? There's no fight.
That was pretty good. Damn. I almost got in a fight in high school with this kid, Nick Jameson. Don't remember why, but I remember the same thing. You gather your buddies just in case.
Right.
And I remember us walking around the woods waiting for him to show up with his buddies. And my buddy Chet was like, dude, when you kick his ass, you should probably pee on him afterwards. What? But that's what friends are for.
Oh, my gosh.
We never. So. All right, Tony, your word. Christmas. Go.
Christmas photos. My mom always tried to take one, whether or not everyone was home or not. So she just took me and my brother in jeans and just a black hoodie outside in the snow next to some pretty trees. Tried taking a photo, and we'd been inside all day playing video games. And so our eyes were way not adjusted to this whole thing. So, like, in the picture, I'm like this, looking at the tree, because I literally can't open my eyes. And my brother's like this, just standing there.
Oh, man.
It's the most awkward Christmas photo ever.
Oh, you got to find that. I'd love to see that. All right, 2 more. Keywords. Oh, let's see here. I take your word. Bridge. Go.
Okay, so there was a bridge that led over the way to the community college that you'd have to pass in order to go there, at least from where I lived. And I was always so paranoid about driving over it and icy conditions and what would happen. And I would always like fantasize while I was driving that I was going to launch off the side, slide, and launch off and fall into the water. So every winter when I would drive over the bridge in the ice, I would always roll down my windows because I was like, if I'm going to fall in the water, I need to not have to like worry about pressure and getting out.
Jeez. That's prepared. Damn. All right, last one for you, Tony.
Okay.
Cheating. Go.
Cheating. Not necessarily. It's the first thing that comes to mind. I cheated my way out of class for a day because I was smart enough where all my teachers thought I was in National Honor Society, but I had never actually been invited or inducted in National Honor Society. And they were doing a blood drive that day. So I took classes at the community college, and I got there at 9:30 in the morning. I just told all my teachers, hey, I'm going to help at the NHS blood drive. Is there anything I'm going to miss in class today? They're like, oh, no, go ahead. So I never really lied. I just said I was going to help. I never told them I was not in NHS. So I just hung out in the gym all day.
Nice. Well, that was pretty solid, fellas.
I'm impressed. I'm not very good at that kind of stuff. Or at least I don't feel like I am. I was really worried, but something always came up.
What I think is fascinating, the reason that I like things like this so much is because it really is amazing what you remember. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. Like, the boxes in the back of Tony's dad's truck probably has no significance whatsoever.
Right?
Or maybe it does. I don't know. We'll never know.
You'll never know.
Never. Damn it.
Find out next week on Stream the Machine.
Hopefully we'll get some resolution in there.
The cliffhanger. So I'm gonna play this card because again it's my game and I do what I want. I'm gonna stick with the 2015 Everybody Gets a Trophy, and I'm gonna say I'm impressed with both of you. So hey, fellas.
Well, thank you very much.
Bam! There it is.
Right there. Do I have? Hold on. I've got to have something. I've got. Oh shoot. That's all I've got. How do I not have?
How about some applause or?
I used to have it. I have a drum roll. Should have drum rolled you into giving your
Yeah, my spiel.
Here's my best thing.
Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
That's a good one. That's classic.
A little bit of Bender from Breakfast Club.
Classic.
Well, awesome. That was. I was excited to have a different vibe on the Karma fight tonight. Our Saturday shows, you wake up and we're very. I told you, I can't. I always have a hesitancy in like describing the show to people because I'm like, well, I try to inform, I try to be a little educational, knowledgeable, but I also mostly try to just have fun on the show. Mm-hmm. But oftentimes we do talk about a lot of serious things, frickin' broadband being redefined, and we've talked about religion on the show, and that's just the recent things that I can remember. And it's fun to have nights like tonight where literally there is nothing serious, I don't think, about the show whatsoever. And you know what? It's totally cool. Now, that being said, a little preview for you guys and what's coming up, and for everyone listening in, what's coming up on Saturday. They decided to redefine broadband, and they are talking about finally classifying the internet as utility, which we have talked about many of times on this podcast about internet neutrality, and it looks like it might be coming because if it's classified as a utility, Verizon and Comcast and whatever cannot bog down your stuff if you're not paying enough. They can't make it so everyone who visits Netflix gets throttled because Netflix isn't paying them the amount of money. It all becomes regulated by the government. I believe, or at least regulated in a degree, which some people are not 100% okay with. But if you'd realize that, what it offers and benefits compared to where it was going for negatives, it is a much better thing to come along. But that is coming up on Saturday's show. That is one thing I did want to bring up. It's finally happening. Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on, Ross. You know what? Go ahead and stick with us to the end. How's that?
Sounds great. I'm here.
We don't have a lot here, and I don't want to readjust my windows just for freaking 5 minutes of us bailing. All right. Well, I'm going to kill Jazz here. If you want to help out with the show, if you just listened in tonight and you're like, damn, those guys are kind of funny, share things on Facebook. That is the easiest way to help us out. Share our posts. Comment on them. Like them. do all that kind of stuff. If you want to sponsor a segment, you can go to the website, figure out how to do that. Or if you want to support us on Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/streamthemachine. Find out how you can help us there, whether it's by donation or just being a supporter. Anything is extremely appreciative and helpful. Email in your music. We are coming up on our 50th episode, and I am not sure what we'll do about our music for that show. But if you are listening in and you know someone and you're like, damn, I have a really great song or a really good friend that has music, and maybe that would be special enough to be played on the 50th show. Well, maybe it would be. So go ahead and send your stuff in. Let me know. And I'm looking for something really special that we can play. Really fun. If you want to follow us on Twitter, I am at RedefineJack. I don't post. Tony is at TonyDePalma51. Ross, do you have a Twitter that anyone that you post from or anything like that?
No.
Not at all.
Not really.
Nah.
We have a show Twitter as well that posts when every time we're going live. Whoops, hold on a second. My screen's going goofy. Anytime we're going live, that is at STM Podcast. If you want to catch up on any of the past episodes, you're like, holy shit, they've been on for a year. I need to catch up. It's a lot of episodes. StreamTheMachine.com. And I want to thank everybody for helping out, for being awesome. All you guys. Hold on. Did he send it? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Let me see this.
He looks so miserable.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny. Oh, that's great. Hold on. Can I?
That is my new wallpaper.
I wish I could bring this up and show it on the actual video feed, but I don't know if I... Hold on. I'm going to try... Nope, that's just being weird. Hold on. Just 2 seconds. I'm going to try and bring this up for Tony. Chrome.
See what you did, Tony?
Okay.
You're welcome.
Hold on. I'm going to... It's up in the... God. It's covering our faces real quick. Can everyone see that photo? If you're watching the video feed, there you go. There's Tony. Tony's on the right, right? And Joey's on the left. There you go. Anyways.
Yeah.
Awesome.
One touching the tree. Mysteriously.
Yeah, it's Mom. Pretty much is what that seems to be like. Anyways, thank you for listening in, everybody. Thank you for being awesome. Tony, thank you for being an awesome co-host. Ross, thank you for also essentially being the second co-host, rather, of the show, but offering awesome stuff like tonight's Karmified segment. Thursday, I have this wrong. Not Thursday. I also said the day wrong. It's pronounced Saturday. We'll be here at 11L00. Nope, 1100. There we go. AM. Eastern, or 10 o'clock Central for episode 43. We will be back to our normal show format with music and clips and everything else that is good. Thank you for tuning in. I will have everything up later tonight. Video post and audio otherwise. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Thank you guys for being awesome hosts. We will be back on Saturday for a regular schedule until next week, and then we're off again. Goodbye. Have a good evening.
Later.
Goodbye. What am I going to play here?
Later.
A little bit of this.
Oh, come on!
And
this has been a Fly Science Productions podcast.
Classy.